Now, Grace Wandera is currently the Deputy Commissioner for Marketing and Communication at the Kenya Revenue Authority. And with over 15 years of experience in strategy, marketing, branding, and communication, she has led multi-million-dollar initiatives to increase value, improve performance, and enhance service delivery in Kenya's private and public sectors. She has previously served as the brand manager for G4S Security Company, the national brand manager for the Brand Kenya Board, and the director for communication and strategy at the Kenya Vision 2030 Delivery Secretariat. She has received a presidential award, the Moran of the Burning Spear, popularly known as the MBS, in recognition of her contribution to public service. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my joy and pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker, Ms. Grace Wandera, to come and make her remarks. Karibu.
When you mention tax and when you mention the airport, things come to mind. However, I think that as we handle different sectors, I think I tend to run to the hard things. And public sector seems to be one area where when you choose it, you choose to be a pig fully committed to the process. But we are there to transform that space and to ensure that we bring our expertise to that space. But having said that, let me say congratulations to all the graduates. Having sat the Chartered Institute of Marketing exam, I must say it's not a walk in the park. As 30 said, we failed. I failed on paper, had to redo the paper, a very painful process, you know. But it was, as Jess said, a process. You learn through that process. You go back and look at what didn't I do right? What can I do better? So I really am proud to be here to see a fresh crop of marketing executives graduating through this very, very important international exam. I'm honored to be here, and to the Simon Page team, thank you for having me. It's been a while since I stepped into a marketing class, having finished CIM a while back, but I'm not going to mention the year. So today is very refreshing and a nostalgic day for me as I stand here to address fellow marketing professionals who are ready to make a difference in this space. I must say, never in a million years did I think I would be invited to give a speech to a graduating class. So I love watching graduation speeches, and frankly, I have seen Oprah, Chimamanda, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama give speeches, and I was wondering, did Simon Page expect something of that nature? So I'm not sure what is the practice these days, as I graduated in places where you had a last name read in a rather fast-paced, sing-song fashion, Wangila, Wambui, and yes, Wandera. So maybe Simon Page can be ranked as a group of schools in the Kenyan parlance that we use to differentiate ourselves and the schools we attended. So well done, Simon Page, for this graduation. In the marketing world, some principles have held true over time. So as I was preparing for this, I read that some of the principles that have held true for over 70 years include the famous 4 Ps, the segmentation, targeting, and positioning. 70 years they've held true, they've not changed. And isn't that the definition of what is called a principle, isn't it? It is true wherever you place it. And for me, this is something that we celebrate because that is the hallmark of what we call our profession. We have things that we can look into, things that we can refer to, frameworks that we can refer to that hold true to our profession. However, the world is changing at a very fast pace, and these principles need to find a home in the changing world, don't they? So not to say that traditional marketing did not have human centricity, because that's where we are moving into. I assure you, in our former years, or in our formative years, we spoke about heart and mind of the consumer. We did consumer surveys, The consumer has always been there. The talk then was keeping the customer at the center. We even changed terminology from customer service to customer excellence to customer obsession. We spoke of content marketing, omni-channels, marketing automation like email marketing and big data. But the world has evolved and is continually evolving, and the pace of change in technology means that our subject, the customer, is experiencing daily mundane life issues in very different ways, and therefore marketing focus has to change. And when I was given the topic to talk about what Marketing 5.0 means, or rather, Marketing 5.0 and leveraging on technology for humanity, I had to first check out what did Kotler say about this. Do we love Kotler? He came in handy when you were stuck, yes? Yeah. So looking at what Marketing 5.0 means, I read that Marketing 5.0, by definition, is the appreciation of human mimicking technologies to create, communicate, deliver, and enhance value across the customer journey. So for me, what stands out here? Human mimicking, meaning the human is still important in this equation. Yeah? These technologies won't do full scale what the human can do. And then the second thing that stands out for me is enhancing value across the customer journey. And I think this is the sweet spot for us as marketing professionals. The fact that when we have artificial intelligence, natural learning processors, sensors, robotics, augmented reality, virtual reality, and blockchain, all that is important. However, we as the marketers will be looking from the behavioral science point of view and bringing this together with the technology that will help us move forward the agenda of marketing. This world you're walking into is a world where Generation Y, Z, and baby boomers who hold contrasting preferences, attitudes, and behaviors are living at the same time. This has never happened before in history. That means that your understanding of each of the segments and how you position your products and services will be very different. This is also going to be further augmented by the fact that there's growing inequality. You know, in tax, people have a lot of jargon. So when we go to the table, we also bring ours. When they bring economics, like the Gini coefficient, which I'm going to mention right now, which is about the expanding gap between the rich and the poor and the evaporating middle class. What then can we do as marketers if there's going to be an expanding gap, the rich are going to be richer, the poor remain poorer, and the middle class will disappear? That means that we need to think differently about how we engage our audiences. You're walking into a world where you really must deeply understand your consumer in this changing environment, and technology will be a great enabler. Concepts such as co-creation as a form of deep acknowledgement that the customer does know best will augmented by technology will become commonplace. So the other day I read that Lego, we know Lego, if we have children, we know Lego, right? They allow consumers to actually develop the pieces. If you love puzzles and someone allows you to create a puzzle for yourself, isn't that great? So we are moving into spaces where consumers will expect that we are listening, but listening deeply, so that then we produce goods and services that meet them at their point of need. I am amazed by what I read as the potential for marketing to interact with data and extrapolate the data for decision making. I know we talk a lot about predictive analysis, and this has the capability to provide marketers with data that can reveal, for example, shopping patterns. So lately, I find it very hard to walk into a supermarket because of the current space I am in terms of shopping or the time I have for shopping. So weekly grocery shopping is typically the same list for me. While we have physical merchandisers, that's the thing that shocks me right now. We have physical merchandisers in blue dresses, Vaseline, white dresses, they're physical there. I wonder who is watching my current purchase patterns and influencing my future purchase decisions. I see to some extent some food delivery apps are catching on in this space, and they are using the aggregation that they have from all our patterns to push messages to me about what I should be able to buy from them. But the implication here is that the marketing professional is expected to use data to deliver personalized experiences that meet the individual's needs and preferences to the customer. So as we continue on this journey, the whole issue of understanding the customer, being able to analyze the data, combined with creativity and critical thinking, will be very, very important to inform the customer journey. You have all seen on social media, this is what I ordered for, this is what I received. We see that trend a lot. Especially ladies, the clothes just don't seem to fit. If there's a possibility that technology can help us solve this, and I read in the first world, they are already doing this. They are able to help you have a simulation of fitting a dress, where you are, so that when it arrives, you're not 100% disappointed by, and then create a whole content on social media about what you expected and what you got. So these are the challenges that you're going to be facing as you move out into what is being called marketing 5.0. Can we introduce machine learning in our websites and other platforms where consumers look for information for our products and services? Could our call centers and front-facing service adapt robotics? So for this part, I have a very interesting story. So, people laugh at us, the people in public sector, say we do things very traditionally. Unfortunately, this story kind of affirms that. So there's an agency in government that their work is to market Kenya. So in government, I hope there's no one from that agency here. Oh my. Yeah, and believe me, I worked for Brand Kenya, so I'm part of this story. Yeah, I'm also, if there are people to be accused, I'm part of this. So how we market Kenya is that we look for all these events across Kenya, the world, where we go to and we set up a booth and we talk about Kenya and we carry the shuka and we carry the kiondo, and so we've done that for quite a while in the same fashion, okay? So one of the CEOs of government then went to an Indaba, or a tourism Indaba in one of the European, and in Indaba they use the South African name of events or a place of meeting. And so this is in Europe, and they walk in and there's the Kenya booth, South Africa booth, whatever booth. Then they walk to one of the European booths and it's empty. So you're thinking, did they forget to set up? What happened here? But as you walk into the booth, a hologram rises up and starts to tell you about this country and what they have to offer. So there are different ways in which we can use Marketing 5.0 to tell our story. I am hoping my colleagues at that ministry will be able to do this, but what will happen is you will lose your per diem, so maybe not a good story. We are depending on you to change the landscape of marketing. Traditional marketing may either be scared or unaware of the new trends, but you have the opportunity to experiment, to try out new things that will revolutionize the way we do things in this space. I encourage you to drive Marketing 5.0 to deliver on a more customer-centric, purpose-driven, and technology-enabled approach to build strong emotional connections and drive collaborative relationship with the consumer. Your work is going to feel a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe to be great work. My encouragement to you is to embrace this new normal, to be courageous in trying out new things, to be bold in championing revolutionary concepts, to seek to make an impact in the marketing space, to learn from every encounter, and particularly from your mistakes, to fail forward, and to know that there are far, far better things ahead than any that we have left behind. Congratulations and Godspeed in your careers.